Hey folks, what's going on? I'm Coach Corey, and in this quick video, we're going to be talking about the playoffs. Did I just say that out loud? Was that my outdoor voice? The P word? Ooh, that's so stressful, playoffs. We're going to dive in and we're going to understand why some players light it up this time of year and why some players don't do well. And we're going to get to that right after this.
I am the personal trainer for your mind.
Steps out, hit
Okay, so like in every lesson that I do, we identify what we're struggling with. Then we talk about what's happening in the brain. I share some of my stories, or I try to think about the players and what you're going through. And then in the end, we give you some takeaways and some solutions to address that problem. What do you mean playoffs are a problem, Coach Corey? Are you out to lunch? Playoffs are like the most exciting time of the year. But maybe you youngsters out there, even the pros, experience stress during the playoffs because in our brains, we value those games as like a 15 out of 10. It's so important to us because we've trained so hard. We've worked so hard. We've set goals. We wanted to win. We wanted to get to the playoffs. And now that we're here, it's a really big deal. It's do or die. And that is added pressure. And whether or not you're aware of it, it's adding to your brain, it's adding to your stress levels, and it may be affecting your game. So some players out there, they get really worked up and really stressed with that added pressure of do or die with the playoffs because we overvalue it. And as a result, some players end up tightening up. They squeeze the stick too tightly and they don't make the decisions and the plays that they would normally make when they were calm, cool, and collected. And that's a big problem. We want to address that today because what happens in the brain when you have this perceived stress, I view this as the big tilt, big opportunity. We get panicked. We view it as a 15 out of 10. We have all of these emotions that flood in, and with that comes stress chemicals that are being released in the brain. And what happens when we view it that way? The fight or flight mechanism, the bodyguard of the brain, like I've mentioned in several of my last posts, it kicks in. And the biggest thing I'm going to talk about today is how that amygdala and the hypothalamus, the emotional part of the brain, it just cuts off oxygen to the thinking part of the brain. And when you play a sport, guess what? You need to think. You need to be able to read and react and make these decisions on the go and quickly so that you don't make mistakes. And you need that clarity. And when you're perceiving this as the big tilt, it starts to build that anxiety, the sweaty palms, the butterflies in the stomach, the nausea, the anxiety, the stress. And what do we try to do as athletes? We're trying to push it away. It's not going to work. Your biology is just reacting as it should. It's preparing you for the big tilt. So we want to view it in a good way. We want to change the perceived stress into excitement and view it that way. And we also want to implement some strategies that are going to help you calm down so that when you hit the ice, you are ready to go, you're in the zone, and you're not as stressed. Okay, so sometimes I share my anecdotes with when I played myself. I was a pro player. I went through the same thing. Oh, it was such a dreadful time of the year because I put so much pressure on myself. And you players out there, I guarantee you're doing the same thing. You want to be successful, you want to produce, you want to be accountable and a good teammate, and that stress is really weighing on your game. So as an athlete, you may be experiencing an extra amount of thoughts, or you may be tuning into what you're saying to yourself. Or you may be analyzing what's going on with your body. How do I feel today? My legs feel strong or weak? And you start to really tune into those sort of things. And then with those thoughts, they spiral. And that negativity ends up getting to you and it weighs on you even more and it drains even more energy. So I've got a couple tips that'll help you with that and help you calm down so the brain just relax and you can get in the zone and produce and perform like you know you can. So tip number one, you want to talk. Now, I remember when I played, and you may be doing the same thing at home, you get in the zone, big tilt, you're getting all dressed up to go to the game, and all of a sudden you're really quiet. You're really into your own self, and you don't talk much, and you've got the game face on, and you're listening to the tunes, and you're in the zone, but you're really, really quiet. What I want you to try to do, if you get stressed and you feel as though that's too much anxiety on you, I want you to start to talk. Remember how I told you that oxygen gets cut off to the thinking part of the brain, the CEO? It's responsible for clarity and decision making. I want you to engage that part of the brain, and you can do that by talking. Now, you don't have to talk about what you're going to do on the weekend and all this sort of thing to distract yourself, because that's not going to work. But what you can do is talk about your game plan. What are your 3 things that you're going to bring to the table that game? What are you going to do to keep it simple? How are you going to be successful? Maybe it's you're talking to your parent on the way to your game. Maybe it's a phone call with one of your teammates, but something to activate that frontal part of the brain so that it can release and relax those stress chemicals, because that bodyguard, it's cutting off the oxygen. You need that frontal part of your brain for clear decisions. So talk to your buddies, talk to your parents, talk to your coaches, get the dialogue going so we can just activate and tone down that bodyguard. Tip number 2, if you're stressed about the big game, big playoff game, I need you to accept that your body is going to go through what it's going through. The mindful athlete understands that your body is preparing you for a big opportunity. What it does biologically is going to happen whether you want it to or not. You need to accept that. Now, acceptance, right here, see that? Acceptance is the biggest part of success. We need to accept what our body is going through, our thoughts, and once we accept that, with that comes a bit of ease, and we understand what's going on, and we lighten up on ourselves. We're not as critical. All right, so accept that what your body's going through is a good thing, and kind of let it go, push it off to the side. So I wrote down a quote from Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn. He's a mindfulness guru, and I'm taking his principles and trying to infuse it into sport. And he said, unless we accept things as they are, we will try to force things to be as they are not. That's so deep, man. It sounds deep, it sounds tricky, but when you're striving and trying to force things as they're not, that's all you're doing is you're forcing it and you're wasting your energy. Accept it for what it is, understand that your body is getting ready for the big tilt, and let it go. And number 3, again, we're gonna piggyback on number 2 with this acceptance piece. Number 3, you're gonna be aware of how you're feeling, aware of the stress, aware of all the external distractions and the pressure. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna let it be. Whether you try to force it or control it, it's gonna happen no matter what. So you're gonna let the situation be. You're going to let go of the situation and the nerves and stop trying to control it, accept things as the way they are. And 3, you're going to let in the good, let in the positive, right? This is a big opportunity. This is exciting. This is playoffs. I get to show my stuff. I get to be a good teammate. Relax, this is a great time of the year and it should be fun. All right, so those are 3 quick tips for you. 1, be sure to talk. Activate that CEO of the brain. 2, don't fight it. Accept that what your body's going through is there to help you prepare for the big tilt. And 3, let it be, let it go, and then let in the good and the positive and get pumped up for that playoff game. So I hope that helps you today and understand actually what's happening in your brain. Parents and coaches, you are a big help in this situation. Be sure to talk to your athlete if you see them getting too quiet or out of character or they look nervous. Discuss what their plan is. Talk to them. Engage that prefrontal cortex. Help calm down that bodyguard, the amygdala and the hypothalamus in their brain so that they can be successful. Because that's what we do as facilitators. That's what you do as a parent, as a coach. You help their athlete become as good as they can be. All right, put a fork in me, I'm done. We're talking about playoffs and how we get stressed and how we can perform the best we can, understand what's happening with our body, accept it, move on, let it go, let the good in, and we'll have success. If you have any questions about this video or this lesson, please reach out on social media at Mentally Charged. Or if you want to contact me directly, info@mentallycharged.com. I'm Coach Corey. I'm the personal trainer for your mind. I'm here to help you get to the next level. If this applies to you, please like the video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, click the notification button, share it on social media because more parents, more administrators, and more athletes need to know about this sort of stuff for optimal success. I'm Coach Corey and I'm here to help you live the charged life. Take care and we'll talk soon.